Taiwan is bursting with heaps of fun places to explore. Join me, Amber Hatfield, as I hit up travel hotspots, soak up some culture, and hunt down hidden gems. Let's go! On today's episode of Let's Go, I talk with a friend Amy Hong, who has participated in quite a few marathons and running races across Taiwan, from Penghu to Taipei to Hualien and others. Marathons are a very popular sport in Taiwan, and it's not uncommon for people to travel across the island to participate in them. Let's hear some of her stories. So, Amy, hi. Say hi to everyone.
Hi. It's good to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on. I'm really happy that you were able to come. So, I only found out about Amy doing marathons or half marathons maybe like a couple of weeks ago, and I didn't even know that that's something that you've done before.
Yeah.
And marathons are super popular in Taiwan.
Yeah, it is.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Well, the very first half marathon I did was 2015. That was during my college year. Before college, I hate running. I cannot even finish like 1 kilometers.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. So when my like friends from high school or like junior high, I was like, Amy, you were not like this before. Like, how did you do that? I was surprised too. So started in, I think, 2014. I started to like, I wanted to make sure I have at least one like exercise or sports habit, because I just hate that, but I hated doing it. But I started to like run a 1K or 2 kilometers, and before I knew, like I can complete it 10 kilometers.
Wow.
So that's when I started, hey, I wanted to try to half marathon. That was during the time I think a lot of people are more aware of the importance of like exercise, sports like that. So, and I studied in NTNU. We had a really great like playground, field. So after classes, I would just like start like practicing running. It's just very easy. I just pick up my sneakers, running shoes, you know. Yeah. So I did my very first in 2015 in Taipei City. I was so excited and nervous as well.
Yeah.
So less than 2 kilometers, I was tripped by something. Yeah. And then, you know, when people just started it, there was just a crowd, like, because a lot of people. So luckily there were 2 runners. They quickly like, you know, like took me from the ground. Otherwise I would get like stepped by other runners.
Like trampled on.
Yeah, trampled on. So I wore shorts and tanks. So I did not have a like cover. So I knew I was bleeding. But I didn't want it to look at it, because if I look at them, I would be too scared. So I just kept running and running. And I think I finished the whole half marathon within 2.5 hours, which is a pretty good record for myself.
Wow. So you just like made it through whilst bleeding.
Yeah, I know. I was so brave.
Yeah, that is.
So it's actually a good start because it's pretty flat. So then I got some stories in like Salmon Lake, which is very difficult because it's like hills, up and downs. But so for the beginners, I would highly recommend trying the Taipei Marathon.
I think maybe like doing marathons around Taiwan is also like a good way to see different places in Taiwan as well.
Exactly.
So apart from the Taipei Marathon, I know you said you've done some other marathons like around Taiwan. So which of those would be one of the most memorable for you?
Oh, yeah, good question. It's going to be the one in Salmon Lake. It was actually an ultra health marathon.
Okay.
So it's usually half marathon would be like 21 something kilometers. But that one I remember was 29. It took me 4.5 hours to finish that game. It's actually quite bad, but because the weather is like super cold and rainy. So slowly I run so slowly, and at some point I wanted to give up, but again my ex was there and 2 of us was like, no, we have to like it doesn't matter if I walk, just try the way to like finish the game. Because one thing I did learn from marathon or half marathon or running is if you stick to your plan or you just cheer for yourself, I just like, Amy, you got this, you can do it. Oh, this is something I usually say to myself. Sometimes I wanted to quit, but I was like, look, you're already halfway there. And I did like a couple of marathons before. I know like how it felt. So I just kept like reminding myself, you're going to be fine. You did this before. You can do this now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did it like somehow. But I remember because when you're running, your body is like generating or producing heat. So it's actually not that bad. But once you stopped running, I started to feel like, well, it's chilly.
Yeah.
Like,
So what were you wearing in the cold like that? Like, do you wear those kind of long...
Yeah.
Oh, raincoat?
I did because it was raining like heavily. Yeah, and like gloves, stuff like this.
Right.
But once I stopped moving, like it's freezing.
Right.
And we live kind of far away. We stay at a hotel that's kind of far away from the game. So I think we took the bus back there. And what is worse is like the hotel, they're running out of the hot shower.
Oh no.
So I was like, I think I got a cold after that.
Well, I can imagine, if you've been running for so long and your body's like already got no energy and then you're in the cold.
But that was quite an experience. And I definitely would like to go back to try another like Salmon Lake Marathon because it was a pity that at the time it wasn't raining. Otherwise, I bet the view will be gorgeous.
Next up in our interview, I asked Amy about her experience of running the marathon in Penghu, one of the outlying islands of Taiwan. And so you were telling me before about another one that you've done, and that was in Penghu, was it?
Yeah.
So Penghu is one of the outlying islands of Taiwan, and there's actually many different islands.
Yeah.
And Penghu, something about it is that it's very windy, right?
It is. It is very windy. So that was, I think, the most, also the challenging one because it's flat, so it's good, right? It's not like a Salmon Lake. It's like it has hills. So it's flat, which is good. But again, it's an island, so it's pretty windy. And when you are running against the wind, that's like another obstacles. Yeah. So it was hard. And I remember at that time I went to that marathon with my sister and also my ex. We went there. So it's actually, I think it's the Penghu government. They're trying to promote the tourism. So it's a package. They're working with the airlines and the hotels and this marathon. It's a good package. I actually get to like travel around in Penghu and also to experience this marathon and also the seafood, of course. Yeah. So it was super hard. And I remember I didn't train. I think when I finished that half marathon, what's funny because there are some like professional runners. They will actually like participate in this kind of marathon to get the prize, right? So I remember for the Penghu one, right before I almost finished the half marathon, there was a runner and people were like, cheering for him. He's actually running for the full marathon. And I'm running for the half marathon. And we reached the finish line like around the same time.
Oh, okay. Well, he's professional.
He's professional. Yeah. But this is funny. But the view was gorgeous, I would say. Yeah, because actually you get to see the Penghu Bridge, the Kuahai itself, which is famous. Because I remember I went to Penghu when I was a kid, and that was my second trip to Penghu. So it's a different experience.
So this marathon, where does it start at?
I remember it's from the main island. And then at some point we crossed that bridge. I actually did stop and take a picture at that. So like I said, the whole purpose of that, it's not really about marathon itself. It's about like seeing Penghu again and with my sister, with my ex at the time. So it was a good experience. Yeah. It's a good excuse for sightseeing.
Yeah. And was that in the summer? Is the Penghu Marathon in the summer?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So Penghu gets pretty hot in the summer though.
It is. So that's why usually the game started around like 5:30 or 6.
Oh, that's early.
So you have to get up pretty early because I have to like get there, do some warm up, get prepared. So usually for a game like that, you have to get up like 4-ish.
Yeah.
The latest.
Early bird.
Yeah, early birds. But the Penghu one was great. I definitely like recommended that. But if you're trying to break your record, not because it's pretty challenging. The wind actually slows you down a lot.
I can imagine that would be the case. Yeah. Next, I asked Amy about her experience of running a half marathon on Taiwan's east coast in Hualien. The east coast is famous for breathtaking views of the Pacific Ocean. Let's see what Amy has to say about it.
Well, for that one, that's the reason I signed up for that one in Hualien, right? But unfortunately, if you wanted to like run along this like the coastline, you have to sign up for the full marathon. So I did not. So the route only you get to experience the mountain views, which is good, but I didn't get to see the Pacific Ocean, which is a pity. But it was still quite an experience. Yeah, it's still nice. It's very different from the Salmon Lake. Because from Salmon Lake, it's like hills, but the Hualien one is like mountains. It has different feeling because I feel like when you are near mountains, you fresh air. That's something you get to have when you're doing the marathon in Taipei City.
Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And actually, I think because it's a smaller like scale game, I think because usually they would categorize into like different age groups, right?
Okay.
I actually went on a stage and got a prize, but it's like very interesting experience.
Yeah, wow, that's so good.
Oh.
So do you think you would try another marathon in Taiwan again or in the future or?
Oh, interesting. So last year, I stayed in New York for like a couple months. And there's a New York like marathon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I would actually wanted to do that. I think right now, if I wanted to go back and pick up like the motivation for me is to travel. Yeah, because there's also a famous one in Japan as well, I think.
Okay, I
so
don't
people,
know.
it's such a hard to get in. It's not like something you just sign up and you got a ticket.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but back in the one in New York, I think you run through the New York City and also the Central Park. That is something I definitely want because it's so nice to run in the Central Park. So this is definitely something I would like to try in the future.
Yeah, I think it's something that's like, because, for me, when I think about traveling, I kind of think about traveling just, I don't know, book a ticket and like go on holiday and then it's just a holiday. But I kind of come to think that, yeah, traveling is about so much more than that. Like so many people, they choose to travel for a specific reason. Like, they travel around the world doing marathons or like they travel around the world. And, some people, they come to Taiwan and they're like, I want to climb Long Dong or something. Or like they go to different places around the world to do specific activities. So I think that's something really cool when people travel for a specific purpose like that.
I feel like you also will meet people with the same interests. So I definitely think it's going to be a good idea to travel with a certain purpose.
That brings us to the end of our episode today with Amy Hong about half marathons and traveling in Taiwan with a purpose. You can join in next time where I will continue talking to Amy about her experiences of hiking and river tracing in Taiwan.